Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Chapter 51. Transform into Gold, Super Saiyan. With the order of Los Piccolos. On the chaotic battlefield, 4 hideous and terrifying figures slowly appeared. Each reached a terrifying 20 meters. And from the mouths of their respective heads, the fangs that burst out are more slender, making the faces look extremely distorted, and the muscles on their bodies are stronger than those of other demons. And just now, it was like a platinum-level demon like a titan. Suddenly looked much shorter. It can only reach the waist of 4 diamond-level demons. Following the 4 diamond-level demons joining the battlefield, the platinum-level demons who were still commanding the battle just now knelt down on the ground. The 4 in front of me are each one of the 8 leaders of the demon race. And MOC at the moment. He is throwing a mountain-like platinum-level demon from the fortress wall, and at the same time commanding a gold-level Saiyan warrior to fight. The captain of the 3rd team, and the captain of the 6th team to block the gap. The 4th team stabilize the formation. The 1st team pays attention to support, and deal with the 4-handed monsters on the side first. Quote. None of the subordinate species of the demon race can break through the defense line formed by Saiyan soldiers, and it seems that the situation is very good. But at this moment, Saiyan's keen battlefield intuition made MOC detect an unusual aura. A huge sense of crisis suddenly struck. It made him feel that the temperature in the air seemed to drop a lot. Not only him. On the battlefield of Vegeta, everyone who survived felt a chill, and an unprecedented oppression poured down from their heads. But the demons who felt this breath did not have any fear. Instead, he showed a frenzied expression. The attacks got crazier. Because all the subordinate species of the demons know that it is the breath of the 8 leaders of the demons. Diamond level. MOC's face darkened, and his eyes fell on the back of the battlefield. With MOC's eyesight, he could even clearly see the pure magic energy emerging from the demons. They are not on the same level as ordinary platinum demons. 600,000. This is the value displayed on the combat power glasses. The combat power under normal conditions has actually reached the limit value of MOC after using 10 times the Kaioken. At the same time, in Platinum Battlegrounds, the Brawly charged. I also felt it at this moment, a breath of palpitations. After punching the platinum-ranked demon in front of me, I left the battlefield. Looking at the 4 huge figures coldly. Through Brawly's eyes, Zhang Hao saw the new demons who came to the battlefield. From the eyes of the other party, Zhang Hao could see the other party's disdain. Diamond level 4. At this moment, one of the diamond-level demons broke away from the array and rushed towards Brawly. The speed is so fast that the naked eye can hardly catch it. In the next moment, Brawly had already been punched. There was only a loud noise heard on the entire battlefield, and the berserk Brawly flew out backwards. This was the first time that Brawly joined the Saiyan civilization war. The first time, Brawly, who had been in absolute dominance throughout the war, was sent flying with a single punch. In a state of rage, Brawly's abilities have increased tenfold. As for the demons, when the Black Devil energy gushes out from their bodies, their own strength will triple. That is 1.8 million combat power. It surpassed Brawly in the mad state, a full 3 times. But the moment Brawly landed, his eyes turned cold, and another ability started to activate. Open black lens bracket war enthusiasm close black lens bracket. 1.8 million. This is already the limit of Brawly's combat effectiveness after using the 2 abilities. As a result, the whole body was surging, and Brawly, who had a green aura, punched the demon who was attacking him. The face of the demons remained unchanged. Raise the giant sword in your hand to block. Feeling the huge force from the saber, the demon grinned, not surprised that Brawly's strength was almost the same as his current self. Be mad. After the demons use the surge of magic energy and berserk, their strength will increase to 7 times that of the normal state. 4.2 million. A desperate number. The current Brawly's combat power is only 1.8 million. Not even half of the demon race. Diamond-level demons have already reached Brawly under normal conditions. After using the ultimate combat power after Fury, now they are blessed with 2 abilities. Brawly can already be suppressed to death. Then the demons in a state of rage waved their 6 arms and rushed towards Brawly with a roar. The 2 moved at high speed on the battlefield of Star Vegeta, hitting from the sky to the ground. The fighting power of the demons at this moment has exceeded 4 million. So Brawly can only dodge passively. Brawly, as an elite warrior in the Saiyan civilization, even in a state of berserk, can still rely on his powerful racial talent and fighting instinct to fight. But after the demons use madness, they will completely lose their minds and become a killing machine. Therefore, although the fighting power of the demons has already crushed Broly, they are only hacking and hacking, so Broly can still barely support it. But the time of the berserk state is not infinite. In addition, high-speed flight also consumes a lot of chi. So if it continues like this, it won't take long for Broly to lose. But Broly, who frantically dodges the attack, has not forgotten his mission. So he dragged the berserk demon race into the camp of demon race soldiers. The irrational diamond-level demons, regardless of whether they are enemies or friends, will be chopped to pieces by him as long as they appear in front of him. So Broly took advantage of the diamond demons who had lost their minds, and began to frantically slaughter platinum-level demons and subordinate species. But it won't last long. At the same time, on the Vegeta Fortress, another diamond-level demon appeared, because a diamond-level demon was enough to suppress Broly. So Los Piccolo's plans to send another demon to get rid of Amosi who stayed in the fortress. As for the subordinate species that were frantically slaughtered by the diamond demons, he didn't care at all. Amosi looked at the floating demon in front of him, his face sank. Because he clearly knew the demons in front of him. The combat effectiveness has reached a terrifying level. If he went into a state of madness like the demons chasing Broly, he himself said that he would definitely fall into Broly's situation. And with 10 times Kaioken, I can only hold on for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, they will completely lose their fighting power. But without waiting for Amosi to think about it, the 6 huge eyeballs of the demon race in front of him began to turn red, and black magic energy gushed out from his body. Open black lens bracket Kaioken, close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket 10 times. Close black lens bracket. Amosi was immediately blown away by the magic energy and hit the high wall of the fortress. Fell into a disadvantage. Looking at the huge demon clan like a mountain in front of him, Amosi used another racial talent. War enthusiasm. Close black lens bracket. Amosi knows. I can't be like Broly, even after raising my strength to the peak, I can still fight for a long time. So we can only make a quick decision. Open black lens bracket Qigong bomb, close black lens bracket. A huge blue ball of light, a demon race that has raised its strength to the apex. Shrouded in blue light, the blue light dissipated, revealing the huge figure of the demon race, and there was no wound left on the demon race's body. But because of Amosi's attack, he became even more violent, roaring and rushing towards Amosi. The 6 different weapons in his hand also began to wave wildly. At the same time, Los Piccolos let the remaining 2 diamond-level demons join the battlefield and ordered them to attack Vegeta Fortress. Just take the fort. He just won. At this moment, Amosi just got rid of the entanglement of the berserk demon race. Just saw Ling him. The color-changing picture. There were only 2 diamond-level demons surging with black demonic energy, and they had already broken through the electromagnetic shield of the fortress. So the look on Amosi's face. For the first time, there was a change, and the resolute cheeks also appeared a little distorted because of the ignited anger. And in Amosi's eyes, a very light green began to emerge, and then the green became darker and darker. The hair also stood up slowly, turning golden. The body also began to emit golden breath continuously. I saw that the Vegeta Fortress, which was completely covered by black magic energy, was now cut by a huge gap by a golden breath. Like a sharp sword, cut through Vegeta's darkest hour. Chapter 52. What's going on? Los Piccolos was full of doubts at the moment. He has studied all the information about Zhang Hao's battle. Huge body, light ball attack, flight, split light ball, and red gas flames that can increase combat power. But never saw the breath of gold. Do not know why. When Los Piccolos saw this touch of gold, he suddenly had a bad feeling in his heart. If Eren was there, then she must be able to tell. This touch of gold is the golden light she saw when the star bridge was closed. With Amosi's whole body covered in golden aura, Amosi finally used the strongest form of the Saiyan race. Super Saiyan. The 2 diamond-level demons who hadn't yet transformed felt like they were locked in by a terrifying aura, like prey being targeted by a poisonous python. Even moving became a little difficult. But at this moment, Amosi, who transformed into Super Saiyan, launched an attack. Get out of here! Amosi roared furiously, with crazy killing intent in his eyes. This was the first time Amosi fell into a violent state. In an instant, his pupils were filled with green breath. A four-armed yaksha who was blocking him in front of him was punched in the body by Amosi before he even had time to raise his weapon. This punch is Amosi's punch in a state of rage. How powerful it is. With just one punch, it penetrated Yasha's body. And because of Yaksha, he got in the way of Amosi's return aid. So Amosi was filled with golden breath all over his body. It crashed directly into Yasha's body. In a state of rage, Amosi tore his hands directly, and Yasha was instantly torn in half. A lot of blood gushed out. But before Yasha's body fell to the ground, Amosi had already rushed to the front of the two attacking fortresses, the 390 stone-level demons. Go away. Amosi's punch hit one of the diamond-level demons. The demon that was hit immediately flew upside down as if hit by a high-speed car, together with another diamond-level demon behind him. Landed on the battlefield outside Vegeta Fortress. Along the way, there were many subordinate species of the demon race, all of which were hit by the huge bodies of the two and smashed into a pulp. The entire Vegeta battlefield suddenly fell silent. The subordinate species of the demon race under the fortress. Looking at the two huge demons falling behind the battlefield, his face was full of horror. No one knows better than them. The strength of the two demon leaders who fell was terrifying. I don't know how many terrifying and powerful enemies were easily crushed by them, and countless civilizations trembled and crawled under their terrifying strength. The subordinate species of the demons worship the leader and strength of the demons. Almost to the point of faith. But now, what they thought was the undefeated demon god was actually replaced by a golden figure. It was blown away with one punch. Zhang Hao, who had been watching the battlefield all the time, became worried when he saw Broly being suppressed by the diamond-level demons. After all, Broly joined the conquest of Saiyan civilization. Almost all of them sweep the enemy across the battlefield with a crushing attitude. But it was firmly suppressed by the diamond-level demons. There is almost no resistance. And Amosi, who has always been able to do a job with ease, also fell into a hard fight after meeting the diamond-level demons. Until the last two demons also joined the battlefield. A hint of horror inevitably appeared on Zhang Hao's face. Because if Zhang Hao's civilization is destroyed, he will not have any chance to make a comeback. So even Zhang Hao, who has always been calm, couldn't help feeling worried. But at this time, this almost one-sided battle finally turned around. The golden light piercing through the darkness let the situation on the battlefield stabilize instantly. Even Zhang Hao, who has been paying attention to the development of civilization, was somewhat shocked by Amosi's fighting power. But even more shocking than Zhang Hao is Los Piccolos, who leads the demon civilization. How is it possible? At this moment, Los Piccolos was full of horror. He rubbed his eyes in disbelief. After all, he has been commanding the demons to fight. Although I am a little surprised by the fighting power of Broly and Amosi. But when the diamond-level demons joined the battlefield, the battle has shown an overwhelming situation. And he also discovered that the way Amosi and Broly improve their combat effectiveness is equivalent to overdrawing their body's potential. Time doesn't last long at all. Just drag on for about 10 minutes. I will definitely win the final victory. But what did he see? Amosi, who was suppressed by the leader of the demons just now, unexpectedly knocked the two demons into the air with one punch, although he was not fatally injured. But be able to do it. Explained the man whose whole body is shrouded in golden arrogance at this moment. The strength has surpassed, after using the two abilities, the leader of the demon clan. What are you kidding? That is a diamond level, or a demon with physical strength that has almost reached its peak. Even the dragon race, such a physically powerful race. It can only fight against the demons. Now there is actually a race that relies on physical strength to suppress the demons in a state of berserk. And, still at the platinum level. A huge difference in rank is still possible below the silver rank, but above the gold rank, such a thing has never been recorded in the history books. That is, a leapfrog challenge above the gold level. In history, that never happened. But now he sees it. Meanwhile, on Vegeta's battlefield, Saiyan looked at the leader of the demon clan who was knocked out, and cheered loudly. His morale was depressed because Broly and Amosi were suppressed just now. XXX. Rush. Up. Kill these ugly monsters. Quote. The defense line of Vegeta Fortress, which was already in jeopardy, stabilized again, and because the leader was repelled, the morale of the CFCD, subordinate species of the demon race, suffered an almost devastating blow. What did you see just now? The leader was knocked out by the golden creature on the opposite side, even with just one punch. How is it possible? The leader has never been repelled for so many years. Now he's knocked out. Too frightening. Can we win? After all, even the leader has been defeated. In the hearts of the subordinate species of the demon race, the belief in victory has been shaken. After all, the 8 demon race leaders are in their position, almost like a god. As a result, the subordinate species of the demon race who lost their fighting spirit, their combat effectiveness dropped by nearly 30%. The fighting power of Saiyan soldiers has almost doubled. Saiyan soldiers stared at the golden figure like a god with fanatical eyes. Under the watchful eyes of all Saiyan soldiers, Amosi shot at the 2 demon leaders standing up from the pit like a cannonball. A mad killing intent flashed in his eyes. Because in Amosi's view, the Vegeta Fortress is equivalent to a sanctuary, and all enemies who violate my god can only apologize with death. Thinking of these 2 ugly demons, they actually broke into Vegeta Fortress. The anger in Amosi's heart could no longer be suppressed. Want to transform into Super Saiyan? Not only does it require extremely strong combat power, but it also requires extreme emotional anger to make the S cells grow explosively in an instant, thus realizing the transformation into Super Saiyan. So Amosi, who fell into a state of rage, squatted down, bent his feet, and let out a deep roar. At an unparalleled speed, they rushed to 2 of them, the leaders of the demon clan who had already stood up, and the swords in their hands had been broken. But there is still a powerful demonic energy surging around him. Looking at the attacking Amosi, he also let out an open-air roar. Boom! There was a loud bang. The hurricane flew by like a rock bird, the demon army flag on Vegeta was pulled up directly, and the subordinate demon species nearby were also shaken and flew out. Even the platinum-ranked demons standing in the distance couldn't help but close their eyes. Because when Amosi flew like the leader of the demon clan, a huge blue light ball had condensed in his hand. Look from afar, it was like a full moon rising over Vegeta. Then the full moon smashed into the 2 demon leaders, and the earth trembled. After all the dust settled. On the surface of planet Vegeta, there is a huge deep pit with a diameter of more than 200 meters, let alone 2 demon leaders. Even the subordinate species of the demon race that can't dodge also disappeared together. This is Amosi's blow with all his strength in a state of rage, because he has reached a near-death state during the battle with the leader of the demon clan. In that state, transformed into Super Saiyan, the strength has reached 9 million. That's why the 2 demon leaders can be separated. Instant kill, but it also consumes a lot of gas. Looking at the huge deep pit that suddenly appeared, and the leader of the demon clan that appeared and disappeared together with the deep pit, all the affiliated species of the demon clan felt a chill on their bodies. All the fighting spirit in my heart dissipated immediately. Because as long as Amosi launches the same attack a few more times, their remaining 2,000, attached to the demon clan, will all disappear. At this time, Los Piccolos had already froze in place, after a long time. Los Piccolos clicked on the panel data of his own planet. Planet name: Black Prison. Planet level: Level 4. Open black lens bracket. Planet diameter: 300,000 kilometers. Close black lens bracket. Race: Demon race. Combat unit: Mozu leader. Diamond level. Quantity: 6. Looking at the dazzling 6, Los Piccolos felt his heart shrink, which was a bit unacceptable. 2 diamond ranks fell. His strength has dropped by nearly 30%. He could imagine that when he returned to Qingbei, his ranking would drop wildly, and he might even be in danger of dropping out of school. This is for Los Piccolos. It is an unbearable huge price if you can't get the secret of Zhonghao's civilization growth. The loss owed to him was almost like that. Thinking of this, Los Piccolos' face became grim. After all, he didn't believe that the man could use the attack just now without restriction. 6 diamond-level demons. Dragging him can also drag him to death. But at this moment, another golden light piercing through the black mist appeared on the platinum-level battlefield where the black devilish energy was surging. In a state of rage, Broly also transformed into Super Saiyan. Chapter 53. Originally, Los Piccolos still had confidence in this battle. After all, now he still has 6 diamond level demons. Even dragging can also drag MOC to death. But I didn't expect that on another platinum level battlefield also changed. I saw Brawly, who was suppressed by the diamond level demons. His normal hair began to stand on end and turned blue-green. The pupils in the eyes have disappeared, and the whole body is burning with a golden aura. Brawly transformed into a Super Saiyan state, looking at the huge demon clan in front of him like a mountain. The last sliver of sanity was swallowed. Only the fighting instinct of the Saiyan race remains. At this moment, Brawly has become extremely dangerous. Although he has a headband that limits his ability, he still has a 50-fold increase in combat power. With a golden aura surging all over his body, Brawly squatted down, bent his feet, and rushed towards the leader of the demon clan in front of him like a tiger. With a low drink from Brawly, in the next second, he kicked the demon leader's chest in front of him. The leader of the demon clan only felt his chest sink. A crisp sound entered his ears, and he knew that it was the sound of his ribs cracking, and then he felt dizzy. Finally, it landed on the surface of Vegeta Star hundreds of meters away. Smashed out on the ground, a huge pit. The leader of the demon clan endured the severe pain and wanted to get up and fight back, but at the moment he stood up, Brawly's attack has arrived again. Brawly flew in front of the leader of the demon clan, and kicked the opponent's knee. The leader of the demon clan lost his body support and immediately fell to his knees on the ground. At this time, one of the heads behind the leader of the demon clan saw a fist magnified countless times. At this moment, Brawly has fallen into a state of real rage, completely lost his mind, and just now he also fell into a state of near death. So the combat power has also reached a terrifying 9 million. Not only did a punch penetrate the mouth of the head, then only a muffled sound was heard. One of the heads of the demon leader exploded into a cloud of blood mist. Because the head was smashed, the severe pain made the leader of the demon clan couldn't help screaming. At the same time, the huge arm grabbed towards Brawly's body. But it fell short. Brawly kicked with a grinning grin, smashing the other head like a hammer. The demon leader tried to fight back, but Brawly's other leg had already been kicked out. Only 2 muffled bangs were heard. The voices almost became a line. I saw that the majestic leader of the demon clan just now had been beaten and flew out. All this happened in a blink of an eye. From Brawly's flying, to the final explosion of the 2 heads of the leader of the demon clan. What Brawly relied on was simply Saiyan's fighting instinct. But all attacks are extremely smooth. One hit. Without any pause, Brawly caught up with the leader of the demon clan who was knocked into the air in an instant. The leader of the demon clan who was seriously injured at this moment has no room to resist. In midair, Brawly grabbed the demon leader's leg, pulled him back abruptly, and at the same time condensed a huge ball of light in his hand. Blood burst out. A thigh of the leader of the demon clan was directly shot off. But at this moment, the leader of the demon clan still did not stop resisting, even though he suffered several severe injuries from Brawly. But the weapon in his hand was still swung towards Brawly. Brawly smiled cruelly, and the ball of light that had condensed for a long time in his hand aimed at the waist of the demon leader this time. The light ball is launched. Swinging the sword that had been cut off, it was directly broken into 2 pieces. Together with the leader of the demon race below, it was also divided into 2 by the light sphere. Then the body of the leader of the demon clan fell into the big pit below, but the distance between the head and the tail was tens of meters. At the same time, on Los Piccolo's planet data panel, there is 1 less diamond level demon leader. Look at the reduced numbers. Los Piccolo's, it's already a little crazy at the moment. 3 diamond ranks fell. His strength has dropped by nearly 40%. Now even if he returns to Qingbei, he will not be able to maintain his current position at the next strength ranking. Not to mention the president of the Star Alliance. He even faced the risk of dropping out of school. At the same time, MOC has killed both demons. At the same time, all the subordinate species of the demon race on the fortress plain were also killed. So he rushed to the Vegeta battlefield, the last diamond level demon leader. Die. The anger on MOC's face was still there. Like a comet, it rushed towards the last demon leader. The demon leader, having seen the plight of other demon leaders, had no intention of fighting MOC at all. Without hesitation, he turned around and fled in the direction of Xingqiao. But how could MOC let these demons escape? MOC, whose eyes were full of anger, quickly caught up with the fleeing leader of the demons. Like a golden lightning bolt, under the horrified eyes of the demon leader, Broly's fist hit the demon leader's lower abdomen. Although he wanted to resist, but Amosi's movement was too fast, and the moment he raised his arm, the fist fell on him. Suddenly, he was like a wrecked shuttle, crashed on the grounds of Vegeta Fortress. The moment the demon leader fell to the ground, he was ready to fight back, and his forearms began to wave wildly, but the next second, he heard the sound of his own throat being smashed. One of the heads was kicked off by Amosi, and two of the arms were also detached from the body. The severe pain came instantly. In the next second, he heard an extremely indifferent voice. Open black lens bracket spirit bomb close black lens bracket. As a result, the last leader of the demon clan felt his eyes darkened and completely lost consciousness. With the last demon leader, killed by Amosi, all the demons who invaded Vegeta were wiped out. The battle appears to be over. But But he didn't intend to stop there. How can Los Piccolos attack their own civilization so unscrupulously? After all, anyone can see it. This is not an entrance examination at all, but a real intention to destroy his own civilization, so Zhang Hao made a crazy decision. Counterattack. He wants Los Piccolos to pay the due price for his actions. This time if it weren't for Amosi, and Broly in extremis, inspiring the form of Super Saiyan. Well, now Vegeta has been completely hacked. One's own civilization may also be destroyed. Just because an illusory secret, a secret they thought they were right, almost led to the destruction of their own civilization. So at this time, Zhang Hao no longer intends to keep his hand. Ask for flowers. He is going to use his own way to deal with him, and attack his planet from the open star bridge. Looking at the 4 diamond-level demons that had all fallen, Los Piccolos covered his head in pain at this moment. The top combat power of one's own civilization instantly lost half. Now he is no longer even Irene's opponent. And Irene, at Qingbei University, already belongs to the bottom of the existence. Damn it, damn it. At this moment, Los Piccolos' eyes were red, and the hatred for Zhang Hao in his heart had reached the point where it could not be added. But now, he no longer dared to easily let the demons set foot on Vegeta. Hold on, as long as you drag the golden state of those 2 men over, you can win. Thinking of this, Lu Piccolos regained his composure. After all, the terrifying combat power displayed by Zhang Hao's civilization at this moment has already made him aware of the secret that can make planetary civilization grow rapidly. Become desperate. If his demon race can also achieve the improvement of combat power like Zhang Hao's civilization. 4 diamond-level demons were sacrificed. 0. He can still accept it. But at this moment, a scene that frightened him happened. Amosi, with golden aura surging all over his body, is ruling all Saiyan at this moment, stepping on the star bridge leading to his planet. What is he going to do? Los Piccolos thought in his mind, but he suddenly thought of a possibility. He's going to attack my planet. Thinking of this, Los Piccolos could no longer keep calm, controlled a platinum-level demon, and flew in front of Amosi. Stop. I am the chief examiner this time, I tell you to stop. But Amosi just glanced indifferently, and then the white light ball in his hand flew out suddenly, and the talking platinum-level demon was instantly gasified. I can let you pass, don't you want to go clean? Another platinum-rank demon wants to speak. But halfway through the conversation, Amosi bombarded him with scum. Then the 3rd, 4th, 5th. All platinum-level demons, as long as they fly into Amosi's line of sight, they will be directly smashed to pieces. At the same time, Broly, who has fallen into a state of rage, has already passed through the star bridge and entered the planet of Los Piccolos. Hell, the planet of Los Piccolos is filled with black air, and all the buildings are extremely huge, and when Broly enters the black prison, what I saw was a huge city. The height of the city wall has exceeded 1,000 meters. The wall is like the back of a hedgehog, covered with sharp stone thorns, and some stone thorns are stained with blood from holes. Some stone thorns are hung with the corpses of other animals. In order to keep the demons in a state of combat readiness at all times, Los Piccolos organizes a wave of orcs to attack the city almost every once in a while. To cultivate the sense of crisis of the demons. This is why all the demons are not afraid of death. If it wasn't for Amosi, he would instantly kill the 2 demon leaders and destroy their faith. Zhang Hao's Saiyan civilization may not be able to withstand these battle-tested demons. But at this moment, there is a huge gap in the city walls that can resist the beast tide. Then it collapsed under the horrified eyes of other demon soldiers. The dust settled. Brawly and her body full of golden aura were revealed. Chapter 54. As the Mozu city wall was breached. Los Piccolos is starting to regret it now. Regret why I coveted the secret of Zhang Hao's civilization growth, but in the regret, there is also hatred for Zhang Hao. He actually planned to plunder his own planet in turn. Doesn't he know that he is the admission examiner of Qingbei University this time? If he is determined not to let Zhang Hao enter Qingbei, then he has no possibility of entering. But he couldn't allow him to think too much at this moment, because Brawly had already rushed into his main city. In a city stretching thousands of kilometers, there were chaotic roars and shouts of killing. Rush, stop him, block him, never let him enter the inner city. Quick, quick, quick. He's over there, the third team goes up. Hasn't the city defense army arrived yet? Where's the platinum rank lord? Quote. Brawly rushed to fight in the main city of Los Piccolos. As long as there were platinum-level demons on the battlefield, a Mosi would immediately kill them with thunder. As for those ordinary demon soldiers, because their combat power was too low, Brawly could not feel any threat, so they lived. As more and more platinums rushed to the battlefield, the corpses in the city piled up more and more. 823, even piled up into a hill in the end, and above the hill was Brawly, who had transformed into a Super Saiyan. Los Piccolos' eyes turned red as he watched countless platinum ranks being crushed to death like ants. After all, at the current stage, platinum can already be called an advanced combat power. As for the diamond level, it is the top strength. At the same time, a platinum-level demon race rushed to the battlefield after receiving an order for reinforcements. It was discovered that the once prosperous main city was now deserted, and the stalls of street vendors had been overturned. Houses were extensively destroyed, and there are some stumps and broken arms everywhere on the roadside. From the size of the limbs, it can be distinguished that the demon race was originally the lowest gold-rank demon race. But more demon corpses are indeed platinum level like him. When did platinum level lives become so cheap? It was at this time. He suddenly saw a golden figure, and then felt dizzy. He died tragically without even screaming. The platinum rank that rushed over was directly smashed into pieces by Brawly. Limbs flew everywhere. Creak. At the same time, a Mosi, who controls the Saiyan team, also came to the main city of Los Piccolos. Kill. Following a Mosi's attack order, 10 gold-level Saiyans launched an attack on the main city of the demon race, whose population was countless times theirs. The huge gap they blasted from Brawly poured into the giant city. After going in, found inside is a doomsday-like scene. The huge house was burning, and then collapsed in front of their eyes, overwhelming some low-level demons who had no time to evacuate, and the surroundings were in chaos. Saiyan ignored these low-level demons and rushed straight towards the inner city. Because the 10 gold-level Saiyans who rule them have accumulated a lot of siege experience when they first attacked the peace circle of Zaka Star. So under the leadership of these 10 Saiyan warriors, the resistance forces of the demon race along the way were defeated. But this is also because Brawly had already killed all the platinum-level demons when he rushed to the inner city. The rest of these gold-level demons were in front of Saiyan, who was wearing the protective suit of the Frieza Legion. Not vulnerable at all, because they couldn't hit Saiyan's armor at all. Hence the war. It turned into a one-sided massacre. As the Saiyan soldiers continued to advance, they gradually came to the inner city. The so-called inner city. It is the area where high-level demons live, and the orthodox demons live in it, while the outer city is mostly subordinate species of demons. So the fighting power is not very strong. When they came to the inner city, finally met an effective resistance. After all, the melee strength of the demons is not much weaker than that of Saiyan, and they have 3 heads and 4 arms. Let them take advantage of melee combat. But Saiyan, as a fighting race, can make up for this shortcoming by relying on strong racial talent and keen fighting intuition. As more and more gold-level demons came, the Saiyan team with only 100 people finally felt the pressure. At the same time, a Mosi, who scavenge high-end combat forces off the battlefield, also finds the fierce resistance that Saiyan soldiers encounter. So it flew over. Open black lens bracket Qigong bomb close black lens bracket. A huge blue ball of light fell on the army of the demons, and dozens of gold-ranked demons disappeared on the battlefield in an instant. But the purpose of MOC is not to pave the way for Saiyan soldiers. The Saiyan race can only grow in battle. Open black lens bracket artificial moon close black lens bracket. Tianming fighter's body began to rise as the blue's rays formed on MOC's hands. Great ape. Having done this, MOC left the battlefield again. Go clean up the demons above the platinum level. As for the demons below the gold level, it is up to the Saiyan soldiers to solve them by themselves. Because if protected by him, there is simply no way these Saiyan can grow up. So after cleaning up all the nearby platinum rank demons, he rushed to the place where the battle was most intense. Central City. At this moment, Los Piccolos was almost driven mad by Zhang Hao, because Broly raided his main city, resulting in the death of hundreds of platinum ranks. He didn't dare to easily put the diamond-level demon leader on the battlefield. As a result, a large number of platinum ranks died in Broly's hands. Why hasn't the time ended yet? In Los Piccolos' view, the energy consumed to maintain this golden form should be extremely terrifying, according to common sense speculation. The time should not exceed 3 minutes. But it has been more than 5 minutes since the battle was reversed, but the state of the two is still stable and there is no sign of lifting. In order to be able to defend the central city, Los Piccolos had to put the remaining 4 diamond-level demons on the battlefield. He already understood the purpose of Zhang Hao's trip. Looting resources. How could it be possible to make your wish come true? So the 4 diamond-level demons were all used to suppress MOC, who was in a state of rage. In the battlefield at the moment, in a state of rage, Broly smashed the platinum rank in his hand at the 4 diamond rank demons standing on the high wall of the central city. For the 4 diamond demons who came to the battlefield, there is no fear in their eyes. Die. Broly stepped back suddenly, and a spider web of cracks appeared on the ground behind him. At this moment, Broly had already punched a demon leader holding a warhammer. The leader of the demon clan with the hammer flew backwards immediately. The other 3 demon leaders, seeing Broly rushing to the crowd, showed a fierce look and also started to attack Broly. But all fell through. Because Broly was good at air combat, when the strength increased to 9 million combat power, they couldn't catch Broly at all. Can only be beaten passively. Just at this time, one of the demons spoke. Zhang Hao, stop. I can let you pass the examination. Isn't your goal Qingbei University? If you capture and plunder my planet, you will never be able to enter Qingbei. Do you understand? Because of the extreme anger, Los Piccolos' voice trembled slightly. It's touching. Zhang Hao sighed. I wish everyone could be like you. The main city has been almost destroyed, but you can still think about the invaders. Your kindness is really touching. But then, Zhang Hao's tone became cold. Unfortunately, I don't need it. Why? As long as you give up the attack, I can immediately let you enter Qingbei University, and, in this incident, you have nothing to lose. Speaking of losses, I lost 4 diamond-level combat units. Los Piccolos said almost like a growl. I refuse. Zhang Hao's tone was calm. Why? I just want you to pay the price you deserve. Zhang Hao's tone was still calm. But that seems like an irrefutable reason. At this moment, MOC, controlled by Zhang Hao, has already made a move. Because the leader of the demon clan was controlled by Los Piccolos, there was no time to react at all. Before even raising the weapon, he was instantly killed by MOC. MOC then pounced on another diamond-ranked Daedra leader. Under the attack of MOC and Broly, the 3 diamond-level demons didn't last long before they were beheaded by the 2 together. At the same time, the golden aura on the 2 of them also began to dissipate. The hair and eyes also changed to their usual appearance. But now in the main city of the demons, there are no demons above the platinum level, and those low-level demons are also being massacred by Saiyan soldiers. Zhang Hao, you wait for me. You will never be able to enter Qingbei University in your life. You actually took all 4.7 mana ores away. The Devil Abyss is the core of the hell. If you dare to destroy it, I will make you pay the price. As long as you stop, I can reconsider. These rare mines are all collected by me, you can't take them all. I can give you energy crystals, but you can't touch other things. Zhang Hao ignored Los Piccolos' threats or requests at all, and let Saiyan take away all the resources he could see with the universal capsule. No matter whether he is useful to himself or not, he is not going to stay with Los Piccolos. So after MOC smashed a silver-ranked attendant with a Qigong bomb, he came to the largest warehouse in the main city of Brox. Zhang Hao, how dare you? Open the door of the warehouse. There are piles of energy ores, rare crystals, magic crystals, rare metal mines, demon armor, magic props. Many of the resources in it are things that the demons can only use, such as the armor of the demons and the magic crystal. But many resources are lacking in Zhang Hao, such as precious minerals, rare metals, energy ores. When Zhang Hao left the warehouse, it was already empty. As the assessment time ended, Zhang Hao walked out of the Star Wars opening room contentedly. Chapter 55. And during the time when Zhang Hao was fighting, great changes have also taken place in the Li family. Arrest warrant. Li Jun sat up from the chair when he heard the middle-aged man's words. A deep cold light flashed in his eyes. In Li Jun's view, even if something he did was exposed. But at that time, he had already let his confidant deal with it very cleanly. It is impossible to leave any evidence. This is also the reason why he has been sitting back and forth for so many years. But now the law enforcement officers actually brought an arrest warrant to arrest themselves, which shows that they must have absolute evidence in their hands. Damn it. Li Jun's hated secretly in his heart, but he had no choice but to get up to meet the law enforcement officers. Arriving at the lobby of the Li family's independent building, all the servants have been removed, only the Awakened Association and the law enforcers are waiting silently. Will Li Jun's really come? The president of the Zhongbei Awakened Association couldn't help asking. He will come, because he still firmly believes that we have no substantive evidence in our hands, and there is no way to convict without evidence, but if he resists arrest now, even if he is innocent, he will become guilty. Hasn't he ever thought that the Li family has grown from a small energy company to a top power in Zhongbei in just 10 years, how many pairs of eyes are staring at it? He really thinks what he's doing is perfect. It's ridiculous, and the others are not blind. Hearing what the law enforcer said, the president of the Awakened Association frowned, and then thought of something. I was taken aback suddenly. It feels like the Li family must have offended some powerful force this time. Although no one in Zhongbei dared to touch the Li family, in the 9th district, the Li family was just a first-class family. While the two were talking, Li Jun's had already arrived at the hall. I heard that Zhongbei's law enforcement department wants to arrest me, Li Jun said in a cold tone. The law enforcer smiled slightly, but sneered in his heart. Master Li, I am only following orders, and I hope you will actively cooperate with the law enforcement. After all, you don't want to be put on a wristband before you get on a speeding car. Li Jun's expression changed. Shut up. Why are you talking to our master? The middle-aged man on the side immediately scolded. The law enforcement officer turned his head, with a deep coldness on his face. Do you think our law enforcement department will arrest people casually without any evidence? The middle-aged man wanted to say something, but was interrupted by Li Jun's. Li Jun's shook his head slightly, took a deep look at the law enforcement officer who came to arrest him, and said, I hope you Zhongbei Law Enforcement Department can take responsibility for your reckless actions. Let's go. After finishing speaking, he winked at the middle-aged man and strode outside. Seeing Li Jun's leaving with the law enforcers, the middle-aged man was taken aback for a moment, and then began to prepare to use the Ji family's influence in Zhongbei. Li Jun's was released on bail. But no matter what the final result of this matter is, it will have an extremely bad impact on the Li family's reputation. After all, on the surface, Li Jiawang is still a businessman. Zhongbei Law Enforcement Department. Li Jun's was sitting on the soft sofa, with exquisite snacks in front of him, and a brain at hand for his entertainment. But at this moment, Li Jun's felt like he was sitting on pins and needles. After all, in the place where I am now, except for criminals, basically no one will stay here. Patriarch Li, are you sure you still don't want to tell the truth? The law enforcement captain sitting opposite him spoke. I don't know anything about what you said. Regarding the taxation and the company's mine disaster, the people below are handling it. As the boss, I am indeed a little negligent in this regard, but this does not constitute a crime, right? The captain of the enforcers smiled. Li Jun's ability to manage the Li family to the present point is indeed not a simple role. With a few casual words, all the crimes were pushed onto others, and I only fell into the responsibility of negligence. Sure enough, he has done dirty things all his life, and he knows how to clean himself better than anyone else. At the same time, a giant flying car stopped in front of the Zhongbei Law Enforcement Department. Two figures stepped out of the car. One was the middle-aged butler of the Li family, and the other was a man in a suit and leather shoes, with a file box in his hand. Lawyer Huang, our master is inside, Butler Zhang said. The man called Lawyer Huang nodded, and then walked into the Zhongbei Law Enforcement Department together. My lord. When the middle-aged housekeeper saw Li Jun's, he hurriedly stepped forward and said. Li Jun's, who was sitting on the sofa, slowly raised his head when he heard the middle-aged housekeeper's words. When he saw Lawyer Huang, a smile appeared on his face. Are you sure this time? Patriarch Li, I'm sorry. Sorry. Li Jun's was slightly startled, and suddenly felt something bad in his heart. He turned his head to the middle-aged housekeeper and asked, what's going on? Sorry sir, we can't release you on bail, and because of tax issues, the company's funds have been frozen. This time the situation is very special, and the law enforcement department has already obtained enough evidence to convict. Hearing the words of the middle-aged housekeeper, Li Jun's was stunned for a while. Then he flew into a rage. You say it again. Master, we have entrusted all parties, but almost all the families have drawn a clear line with us, and many of the evidence against the Li family were produced by these families. It turns out that the Li family is the top power in Zhongbei. Even though other families have evidence of the Li family's crimes, they are afraid of the Li family's revenge. I dare not take it out at all. But now the Li family has become a toothless tiger. How could these evil wolves let go of this opportunity? Li Jun stared at the middle-aged housekeeper. Do you understand what this place is? I don't need an excuse. I just want to go out now. If I can't get out of the law enforcement department before sunset today, $. Seeing Li Jun's gesture, the middle-aged housekeeper was startled, and quickly persuaded, Master, you have to think twice. If we really anger the law enforcement department, it will not end well. Li Jun's gesture just now meant to use the Li family's private soldiers to start a war with the law enforcement department. Although the Li family has a huge influence in Zhongbei and a powerful armed force in their hands, without strong military force, it is impossible to run rampant in Zhongbei for many years. But in any case, they cannot be the opponents of the law enforcement department. After all, the Department of Law Enforcement is an official agency. Do you think I have a choice? Li Jun stared at the middle-aged housekeeper. If according to what the middle-aged housekeeper said, all the dirty things the Li family has done over the years have been known by the law enforcement department, then what will happen to Li Jun's in his next life? Can only spend in prison. So now Li Jun's has no choice. Jincheng, the venue for the academic examination. Zhang Hao, who walked out of the opening room of Star Wars, saw Los Piccolo's hideous and distorted face. Zhang Hao, do you know what you mean by doing this? Los Piccolo said through gritted teeth. After all, Zhang Hao searched all the resources in the main city warehouse this time. That was accumulated little by little after he fought countless planets. Now it has been swept away. Moreover, all of his top-end combat power was killed, and less than 10% of his platinum-level high-end combat power was left. That is, now the strength of Los Piccolos has dropped to the point that it is not even as good as ordinary school students. If he returns to Qingbei now, before long, he will be expelled from school. Dropping out means he can only go to the logistics planet. I will report your predatory behavior to the University Examination Committee, and you will be blacklisted by all universities. Hearing Los Piccolo's words, there was no panic on Zhang Hao's face. Up to you. After speaking, he was ready to turn and leave. And Lu Ruyan, who had just passed the examination, was a little puzzled when he heard the conversation between the two. But looking at the tense atmosphere between the two, it is not easy to ask face to face. Are you not going to Qingbei? Lu Ruyan asked. Zhang Hao shook his head. I don't know either. This time I can say that I offended the examiner to death by 550. I probably won't be able to go to Qingbei University, or even a university. Why? Because I captured the examiner's planet. Hearing Zhang Hao's answer, Lu Ruyan was stunned. What does it mean to capture the examiner's planet? Each examiner has more than 3 diamond-level combat units. How could someone capture their planet at this stage? But look at the appearance of the two. This thing seems to be true. At the same time, Los Piccolos has reported the news that Zhang Hao captured his planet to the University Examination Committee. But what Los Piccolos didn't expect was the assessment teachers of other universities, after hearing the news that Zhang Hao captured his planet, not only did not pull Zhang Hao into the blacklist of the school. Instead, they rushed to invite Zhang Hao to join their school. Student Zhang Hao, do you still remember me? I am Teacher Li from Dongfang University. Although you can't go to Qingbei University, you can choose our Dongfang University. You Eastern University, our Southern University is the best choice for Zhang Hao. Student Zhang Hao, don't worry, our teacher university will give you the same treatment, and even double the original basis. Don't listen to him, we XX University sincerely invite you to join. What you said about our XX University, you can also give Zhang Hao a lot of consideration for us. Bah, your university is far away from Zhongbei in many star fields, what are you going to do at your university? Examiners from other first-class universities, even universities that are undergoing assessments, have sent representatives to invite Zhang Hao to join their schools. After all, at this stage, they can have the strength to crush the students of Qingbei University. The future development is limitless. And Los Piccolos looked at the scene in front of him. It felt like reality had slapped me hard. At the same time, Lu Ruyan has asked someone to contact the principal of Qingbei. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.